Hey everyone, MetaversePhilosopher here. So, everyone's been saying Squid Game Season 3 was disappointing, but I think it was brilliant. Hear me out. Yeah, the frontman never got caught, Detective Jun-ho's story never went anywhere, none of the main characters made it to the final round. And the final three? A baby, Gi-hun, and a bunch of vicious dudes nobody expected. It felt unsatisfying. But that's exactly why it works. That's why Squid Game never has been about satisfying you. It's about what people really become when survival is the only thing left. It's a show about human nature. And Season 3? That was the rawest version yet. Let's talk about the frontman, Hwang In-ho. Cool, calm, efficient. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't hesitate. He was a police officer. Now, he's the head of a global death tournament. He enforces the rules and follows none of them. You want justice? He doesn't get caught. You want closure? He gives you nothing. And that's the truth Squid Game is telling you. The ones who understand the brutality of this system, the ones who accept it, are the ones who will thrive in it. Not because they're stronger, but because they don't pretend the world is fair. And then there's Detective Jun-ho. Season 3 gave us a sliver of hope. Maybe he's back. Maybe he exposes the whole thing and the ship finds the island in time. But just like that, his crew is slaughtered, and they don't make it in time. Crying out why to his brother, with no response in return. No big reveal. No hero moment. Just the system working the way it always has. Swallowing anyone who threatens it. And I know that frustrated a lot of people, especially with how much time the detective spent out on the sea being fooled by the captain. That plotline was intentional, because in a world like Squid Game, a world that mirrors ours, good people get erased, truth dies quietly, and the system keeps going, because you can't stop human nature. Let's talk about the final round. By then, all the characters we got emotionally attached to, gone. What's left? Gi-hun, the idealist, the bleeding heart, a baby, pure innocence, and a group of vicious men who did whatever it took to survive, especially one of whom who stands out, Myung-gi. Let's talk about Myung-gi. He's not loud, he's not violent, but he's ruthless. From the beginning he watches, calculates. He doesn't act unless it helps him survive. And when the moment comes, he'll cross any line, calmly, logically. Starting from killing Thanos to ending his own baby. He doesn't enjoy the pain, naturally. He's not chaotic. But he understands that in this world, the only thing that matters is getting to the next round and winning, surviving. And that's exactly why he makes it until the end. Myung-gi is terrifying because he's plausible. You know someone like him. Someone who seems normal, professional, even polite and kind. But in the right situation, when everything's on the line, they'll choose themselves. Every single time. And the truth is, that's most people. That's what Squid Game is showing us. You think you'd be Gi-hun, but you're probably Myung-gi. And lastly, there's Gi-hun. He refuses to break, even when everything pushes him to. Even when kindness becomes a liability, he holds the line. And yeah, maybe he doesn't win, but that's why he matters. He's rare, he's the exception. He's the kind of person we aspire to be, but we usually aren't, like Jesus Christ himself. And in the end, the games continue, the system resets. The masks come back on. Because the world that Squid Game is showing us, it doesn't end with sacrifice. It doesn't collapse into morality, it keeps going. Because it's fueled by human nature itself. Fear, greed, desperation. That's what keeps the game alive. And that's what keeps capitalism alive. So yeah, if the ending of Season 3 felt unsatisfying, that's kind of the point. Because real life rarely gives you closure. The villains don't always lose, justice doesn't always land, and most of the time the system, the game, just resets. The world isn't completely evil, but when people are pushed to the edge, their true nature shows. The ones who are willing to lie, to betray, to hurt others, they're often the ones who rise to the top. That's what Squid Game shows us, that under pressure, people will do anything in order to survive. However, every individual always has a choice. Just like Gi-hun showed us, even when everything is stacked against you, even when it doesn't benefit you, you can still choose to be a good person. Most of the time, it won't save you. Most of the time, it won't win. But that choice, it still matters. Because once in a while, doing the right thing, even if it costs you, can inspire someone else to do the same. And that's not a happy ending, but it's a real one. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you thought of Squid Game Season 3. Was the ending cold or just honest?